If you are ready to make wealth from your purpose, your work, your dharma, whatever word you want to call it, then follow these steps diligently and see the results for yourself. So we're going to be talking first of all about what is your purpose, what is your dharma. So you may already know what your dharma is, your life's purpose is in this lifetime. But for those of you who are like, I am not sure if this is exactly what I'm meant to do. So let us start with that first. What is your soul's purpose? Why are you here? Why are you here on this planet at this particular time? Okay, what brings you joy? What is something that feels like it's super easy for you to do? Now, you may think like it's super easy, that means everyone can do it. But the bottom line is what comes easy for you may be the exact thing that everyone is looking for your help and support. There are people waiting here for what you specifically have to offer. That soul purpose, that is what you're here to do. You're here to bring in your soul's gift, the gift that you came into this planet with. So when you bring that into the world, when you share your gifts with the world, wealth will automatically follow. Now, I have a few things that I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video. So stay with me, where we're going to be talking specifically about how to make wealth from your purpose. Okay, I have 10 pointers for you, so stay with me on that. But before we go into it, I first want to talk about your dharma, your soul's purpose, why you came here for. Your life purpose is your soul's purpose. That is what your soul wanted you to experience here, not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit of people that you're here to serve. Now, let me ask you this. What is it costing you if you are not living in alignment with your soul's purpose? It is going to cost you a lot. So let's start with this. If you are working for the sake of making money, just for the sake of making money, you're in a job that has your heart's not in it, you don't even like it, but you're still doing it because it's providing you income. What is going to happen is you're going to literally wilt away like a flower who has not bloomed fully, who has not given its fragrance out. And the cost of that is having depression, anxiety, feeling very unfulfilled, feeling very like blah, like it doesn't feel good to you. That is what happens when you do not live your soul's purpose, when you do not live what you came here to do. So it's vital that you step into that place of bringing your gifts into the world, your spiritual gifts, the gifts that you came onto this planet with. You know, I had a client once who was working in a corporate job. She was very good at it, but it wasn't what was fulfilling to her. And it took her time. But once she discovered she spent a lot of time discovering what was it that our soul wanted to do. And when she landed with she was super, super, super good with making amazing, nourishing food. And so through that came this beautiful business that she started, which was basically about bringing organic spices into the world that could be nourishing and nourishing to the body, to the soul, and also healing. But that took a journey from corporate world to this was a whole 18-month process. Okay, so this takes time, but the first thing you have to do is get super clear on what is your dharma, what is it that you came here to do, and then how do you start taking those steps towards it? Because once you know what your dharma is, you still have to take those actions to get it out into the world. Okay, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how do you use your purpose to make wealth, to attract money from what you're here to do. We'll come to that in a second. And again, if you are unwilling to take those risks, to really put your gifts into the world, it is going to cost you a lifetime of feeling unfulfilled. And it's up to you to decide if that's what you really want to do. Okay, and even my own journey on this path. I used to be a therapist for 23 years. That's all I did. But I knew that my soul was calling out for more. And I still hadn't landed in what I do today, because at that point I was with a therapy license. I was pretty much restricted to just the state I was licensed in. And my soul was like, I need to do something more. I need to reach people globally. I didn't know how to make that bridge. So I started a different business in the health and wellness industry. That did not go anywhere, but I learned amazing, valuable skills that I still use today, especially like putting myself out on social media, doing things in public like this, learning how to work with social media. All of those skills I learned from that business that technically bombed. They didn't matter, because through that, I've landed here, which is where I am meant to be. This is what I'm meant to do. But I would not have come here without having that business, which didn't work. So if I look at that business very isolatedly, then I could say that I failed. But did I? No. It actually helped me get to where I am today. And this is where I feel so fulfilled with helping my clients and really doing the work that I do, not only with my clients, but also the outreach that I've created on my social media platforms, because now I get to reach a lot more people. Many of you may never work with me, and that's okay. But I know that my content, whatever I'm providing here for you, is extraordinarily valuable. Okay, so now let's talk about how do you make wealth from your purpose. I have 10 strategies for you, or 10 tips, or however you want to call it. So the first one is be of service. When you come at your dharma, your life purpose, from a place of service, that this is helping people, this is providing value, this is going to uplift them, this is going to create expansion in their life, then that becomes your main focus. And you're no longer thinking about, am I good enough? Am I doing this well? Is this making sense? Do people like what I'm saying? How many likes do I get? None of those things matter, because now you're truly just of service. Okay. Number 2, don't do it just for the money. Like I said before, if you're doing something just for the sake of money, you are going to, because it's only going to take you to a certain level. It's not going to help you go beyond that. Okay. So it's very important. Do it for the sake of providing service, for the sake of value that you're creating, not just for the money. Number 3, be clear on what service you are providing and deliver. Meaning, be clear on your soul's purpose, be clear on your dharma. And it's also important that you deliver, that you do this, because you say what you came here to say. Like, meaning, if you say you're going to give the service, then provide that service. Very important, because if you don't do that, then you're building your credibility will be lost, and people are not going to be able to trust you for what you say you will do. Just because if you do it just for the money again and not providing the service that you intended to provide, then it is going to create a negative loop for you. And not only that, it's going to make you crash at some point. Okay. Number 4, set your intention. Very important when it comes to attracting wealth through your purpose. Be very intentional and do it with intention. Do it with utmost intention. That you are, what is your intention of bringing the service into the world? What is the income you would like to make? What is the revenue you want to make? Be very clear with your intention, because through our intention is how we create. Creation happens from our mind, from our thoughts. This is where we start with creating first. Number 5, be clear on your outcome. With intention, also be clear on what is the outcome you would like. What is your 1-year goal? What is your 6-month goal? What is your quarterly goal? What is your 5-year plan? All of those things is very important. So be very, very clear on what is your outcome. Number 6, This is key. This is one thing I see a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. Ask for the sale. If you don't ask to be paid for a service, how will you attract money from your Dharma? Think about it. This device that I'm recording this from, it was an exchange, right? I gave them money, they gave me the device. The same thing with my cup. I'm drinking a cup of chai here. Somebody made this cup, I paid for it, and now I have this cup. It's the same thing. If you don't ask for the sale, a lot of times like, I don't want to appear sleazy, I don't want to tell them, but you have something valuable to offer. And if you don't ask to be paid for that, how will they even get your services? You're doing them a disservice by not asking for the sale. Really, really important. Please ask for the sale. Number 7, surrender and trust. This is such a place where a lot of entrepreneurs fail because they think they have to keep doing everything on their own. I have to push for it. I have to make it happen. There's a lot of force involved. But if you take a step back, you do your part. You provide the service. You ask for the sale. You show up and do it. And then you surrender and trust and let the universe do its job. You do your part, let the universe do its part. It is going to create magic. And that comes with surrendering and trusting that the universe is going to deliver as well. Number 8, do not get attached to numbers. They are just data points. They're just numbers. So a lot of times, say you're doing a launch and you have a launch and you have a certain number expectation in your mind. And at the end of the launch, you're like, oh, it didn't meet my expectations. Then instead of letting that eat you up and looking at it just like, okay, if you wanted to make 100 sales and you made 10, be grateful for those 10 sales. Those 10 people now are in your energetic field. Everyone starts with something. Everyone starts from zero, ground zero. Everyone starts with the one client, the first client. We all start from there. So be grateful for those 10 people, show up, deliver, and not get disgruntled by the fact that you did not have the 100 sales that you intended to have. Okay, so important. So don't get attached to the numbers. They're just numbers without the attachment. Again, surrender, trust. You set your income, you set your revenue goal, and if it meets it, fabulous. If it doesn't, fabulous, because there's something you need to learn before you can get to that place. Okay, and also the journey leading up to that. The journey is as important as the outcome itself. So if you get attached to the numbers, you're going to forget about the journey, and the journey is where the meat is. The journey is where the learnings are. Number 9, take actions. Measure your data. Okay, so when you take the actions, you're going to get some results. So your job is to measure the data points, not base it on not just the outcome, but like what worked, what didn't work, what can you replicate, what can you take scale back. All of those things are going to be as important as your outcome. Okay, number 10, don't give up. This is key. Rome wasn't built in a day. The Mount Everest wasn't climbed in a day. So if you give up when you're just starting off, you know the outcome of that. So make sure that you don't give up and you focus on what's right in front of you and just keep doing that. Okay, just as a recap, okay? The how to make money from your Dharma, 10 strategies for that. Number 1, be of service. Number 2, don't do it just for the money. Number 3, be clear on what service you are providing for and deliver that. Number 4, set your intention. Number 5, be clear on the outcome. Number 6, ask for the sale. Number 7, surrender and trust. Number 8, don't get attached to numbers. They're just numbers. Number 9, take actions. And when you take actions, measure the data points, see what worked, what didn't work, what do you have to tweak next time, and keep on going. Number 10, don't give up. Very, very important. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, watch the previous video, how to make money from your life purpose with 3 simple questions. How to make money from your life purpose with these 3 simple questions. So watch that video and put in the comments what your takeaways are.